Good morning, sisters. Blessings. Blessings to all of my friends and family who watch these, sisters and brothers alike, if you watch it on YouTube or BitChute later on. This is Dawn Del Vecchio coming to you live at the moment on Facebook in the Return of the Priestess Facebook group. And thank you for being here. We're going to get started in a moment. I see some people coming on the line. I'm always curious to be sure, like right now, the little bits that come up are slow, so I don't know if you're hearing me or seeing me. Like the comment sidebar piece, it's like doing this like glowing waving thing. So if you are hearing me, if you are seeing me, if you would please leave a message here. I don't know what's going on because I'm already a minute in. How could a minute go by so fast? Would you please leave me a message if you can hear me or see me? Shoot. This happened once before where the comments did not come in, although apparently they were being sent in, but I couldn't see them. So I don't know if I have no idea if you can hear me and see me. I don't know if I should continue or start over. Would someone private message me, please, if you can hear me? Go ahead and send me a little private message. Can I even see a private message? I'm gonna pull up. Let me do this. I'm gonna close some tabs. That's always helpful to close some tabs. And let's just see. I'm gonna open another Facebook tab and see if I can see myself live streaming. Sorry about this, folks. Oh, it looks like I am. Janelle, oh, okay, now I can see all your comments. Okay, if I go in the other thing, but I can't see them here. And it looks like someone just private messaged me. Thank you so much, sisters, thank you. Let's see. Yeah, it's just going slow here. I can't even get the messenger to open up. Anyway, I can see that you can hear me, so let's not worry about it anymore. Yeah, Pat says you can see and hear me. Great. Okay, let's get started then. As always, if you feel safe to do so, close your eyes. Connect inward. Let's take a breath together, breathing in. Opening up into the heart space to receive that breath of life, that prana, that life force energy, expanding with the breath. And as you exhale, let that breath circulate everywhere in your body where you could use a little extra love, a little extra relaxation, a little extra nourishment. Good. And again, breathing in, opening to expand and receive that breath into the heart, opening the heart space, and then exhaling to release and allow that golden light to circulate all around you. See that breath, that prana as life force energy, which it is, and golden light saturating your every cell, all of your organs as you breathe in to the heart. And one more exhale to nourish your being in your physical and your energy bodies. Thank you. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And let's just do this. I have another Facebook tab open. If I freeze or you cannot hear me, would you please somebody send me a private message and tell me that as well, because I have that other tab open, so then I'll know. And then we can start over. It's interesting because I have what I feel is a very important message today. Not that some are not important, but this one, it feels very strong. And it's related to a couple of the lessons in A Course in Miracles, but it goes much deeper than, well, those lessons go very deep, let's just say. So I don't want to say it goes deeper than that. What I want to say is I want to apply this to our lives and to what's going on in the world. But how do we walk this world with love and manifest what we want when things are changing? So, the theme today is the restoration of the heart and manifesting with love. And let me tune in. It felt like there was something else I wanted to say first. Oh, I just wanted to say happy Ostara for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, and happy Mabon for those in the Southern Hemisphere. So Ostara was yesterday, Mabon was yesterday. Ostara is the spring equinox, Mabon is the autumn equinox, and it's when the days are equal day, equal night. So it's a time of up here in the north celebrating the rising of the sap into the plants and the flowering, whereas in the southern hemisphere it's about gathering the harvest and preserving the seeds for the winter to come and the year ahead, or the winter to come and then the spring to come. So I thought maybe I would talk about that today, but this feels much stronger and more pertinent. So again, I want to invite you all, as things come up for you, go ahead and write them in the comments. I'm just going to have to flip to the other tab when it's time for that. So I want to tune in now and bring forth this transmission. Okay. Asking Divine Mother to guide me that I can bring this forth in a clear and compassionate way. Okay. Manifestation. You know, I don't know how many years ago, it was quite a while ago now, that movie, what was it called? The Law of Attraction. What was it called? Anyway, you know, the movie about the law of attraction came out, right? And everyone was starting to get the idea that we are actually the creator beings, and that what we think about and focus upon is what we create. And that was a great thing. I think that was an important revelation for us to have as a planetary family, is to really start to have the curtain peeled back about the truth of our reality, that we're the creators and we are creating it all. And the issue with that is that we can focus on, I want a red pickup truck is driving by. I want a new red pickup. I want a new red pickup. I'm driving that new red pickup. I'm checking out that new red pickup. All we want. And for some, that can manifest. And if we are not clear on what's in our subconscious mind, which could be things like, I never get what I want. Every time I visualize something, I get the opposite. Like subconscious programming, then we're never going to get that red pickup or whatever it is you want. So that's one level of it, the sort of the underlying psychology of manifestation, which is that it's our subconscious minds and the trauma or the conditioning and the programming that's actually a big part of the manifestation. Now, we're deepening into a spiritual understanding of the nature of our reality now. And as the energies increase on Mother Gaia because of the galactic, where we are in the galaxy, and you know, this awakening and the light activations we're getting from the sun, etc. And you've heard me talk about this before, all of the low frequency energies are coming to the surface to be clarified so that we can be in a higher frequency. We are ascending into a fifth dimensional consciousness, which is one that's more aligned with love. And so we do that inner work of clarifying our inner subconscious mind of all that conditioning and programming that won't let us get the red pickup truck or whatever it is for us, but also returns us to love. And by love, of course, I don't mean romantic love, as I'm sure you know. If you've been hanging out with me for a while here, you know I'm talking about the divine love, the love and compassion, and the unconditional compassion that of the divine that can move through us and extend to all of life, to our sisters, our brothers on planet Earth, to the animals, to Mother Gaia herself, and of course for ourselves as well. And that all comes under the heading of what we could call the practice of forgiveness, as described in A Course in Miracles. It could be called non-dual awareness if you're coming from a more Eastern perspective. The sense of unity consciousness that comes when we transcend our egoic identity. Okay? So that love frequency is bombarding our planet right now. And those who are not in alignment with love are having a harder and harder time. And those of us who are doing our inner work are finding um, more gifts of grace, gifts of sudden waves of compassion or forgiveness or surrender or acceptance or joy. Yesterday I walked in the forest and I was like spontaneously praying, like these spontaneous expressions of devotion and prayer were coming through me as I spoke them to the trees and to the sky and to the ravens. And spontaneous song, like silly songs, childlike little girl songs. You would laugh if you heard me, especially because I don't have a good singing voice. But you know, this bounty, this abundance of delight and freedom and joy that are coming through, that can come through as we do our inner work. So so what I want to talk about now is, and I'm gonna back into that, like how do we get to that place? Because that is the abundance. And when we are in that frequency, that is what brings us the proverbial red pickup truck, which can be whatever it is that you are wanting, not just in the material plane. It is that state of bubbling forth gratitude, happiness, inner peace, grace, uh, love as frequency that actually is what we're sending out, then magnetizes back to us in the form of the blessings that are in the third dimension as things like my little house, my new little house here in the forest, little house in big forest, which was my dream. It's not everybody's dream. It was my dream, though. And it came kind of miraculously. It did come. And the backstory of that is quite miraculous, actually. Not what I expected. So, but it also comes in those states of grace, which are the true abundance, the remembrance of love's presence. That's the true abundance. So where am I going with this? Okay. I want to talk about giving is receiving. Giving is receiving. Now, in our 3D worlds, in our material world, when we give something away, like I have this, my priestess stone that I hold every time, you know, if I give this away to you, I don't have it anymore. Right? That's how we think of things. Or if I give my Course in Miracles book away, I don't have it anymore. I got to buy another one if I want one. Right? If I give my mic away, whatever it is, my goddess Bridget on the altar over there. So that's how we are conditioned. And that's part of this reality of this, because the body itself is the demonstration of the subconscious mind's belief in separation. So in this dream world of 3D, belief in separation, when we give something away, we don't have it anymore. But in the actual reality beyond this realm, which is far greater than this realm, we're in a very small segment of the multiverse here. Giving is receiving. When I give love, I receive love. When I give judgment, I receive judgment. And it's not necessarily an immediate correlation, okay? So there's a beautiful book that also came into my life through serendipity many years ago. It was probably either that or Jonathan Livingston Seagull were my first spiritual books when I was 16. Shared with me by my dear friend at the time. So there's a book by a man named Gerald Jemplowski called Love is Letting Go of Fear. Let me know in the comments if you've ever read or heard this book. And it's a beautiful little book with these little kind of stick figure illustrations where every time you give love, you get more love. So it's like little black and white stick figures, and then he gives away these red hearts, and every time he gives away a red heart, he gets more red hearts. It's a beautiful illustration. And now that I have been through the course several times, and I'm going through my lessons again, and I've just been through lesson 105 and 106 in the last 4 days. I go deep with each lesson. I really realized this Gerald Jemplowski, I've never looked him up. He must be a course student. Lesson 105 is, my sister, my brother, peace and joy I offer you that I may have God's peace and joy. And then lesson 106, let me be still and listen to the truth. What is giving and what is receiving? And that really is the heart of what I want to share today. Because with the increased energies, we are literally manifesting faster, and we're manifesting based on what's in our subconscious mind, as well as our actions and intentions. So, as we know, there's a split happening in the worlds, and that doesn't mean we're going to live in two separate worlds per se, but there's a big divergence over beliefs, ideologies, and choices around, let's just say, health, right? So there are those in the truther movement who are bringing forth the truth about the risks of the jab, about the real rates of mortality related to the original V, and all of that stuff. And some of them are bringing that truth forth with great power and potency, great facts. We know there's been a tremendous amount of censorship of many doctors who are speaking the truth and are being censored. Okay, so but then there are also those who are bringing forth the truth, and because of their frustration and their conditioning and consciousness, they may even call themselves, let's say, a Christian or a religious person, but they're extending a lot of judgment toward those who are unaware. So that could come in the form of snarky commentary that's sometimes very funny. I have to admit, sometimes it's very funny. But it could also come in the form of character assassination as a group, calling them stupid or well, ignorant isn't a judgment. Ignorant means you don't know about something. So I'm not saying ignorant, but stupid, whatever names, right? I get the frustration. And some of these people I listen to because they're actually bringing important pieces of the puzzle of information when I want to get some information about a certain thing. And I really feel like that energy is not Christ-like. It is not ascension energy. And when we extend that frustration in the form of judgment and attack toward those who are choosing differently than us, including those who are choosing to try and force us to their agenda, we are actually manifesting more of the negativity. This is a real, what's the word here? This is nuance, okay? This is a deep level of spiritual understanding. So I'm going to go a little further with that, and I'm eager to look at your comments, so please be sharing if this is making sense, not making sense. It's just that I can't see it here on my sidebar. I'll go to the other tab later. I want to back up for a moment here and talk about just tuning into your own feelings, how it feels to you when someone judges you, when someone says, about you or a group, like you could be part of a group in which they call tinfoil hat wearers, in which they call hippy dippy, groovy, not in touch with reality, in which they call uninformed spiritual woo-woos, whatever category you have been placed in at any point in time by race, sexual preference, gender, belief system, spiritual practices, etc. And just feel into how that feels. Even if the person who's making that judgment is not someone whose opinion you give weight to, there's a quality of that is an attack. It's a level of lack of acceptance, empathy, lack of compassion, lack of, what's the word? It's like I see you as my sister and brother on this earth. We may have nothing in common, but ultimately we are one. And so from that place, even though we are in disagreement about this, that, and the other, I extend love to you, sister. I extend the peace and joy of God to you, brother. For I recognize that you and I are one in the divine. Really different feeling, isn't it? So at this time on the earth, as we are making our choices about how we want to live our lives and what we need or want to manifest, we have to understand that the frequencies that we are running are what are manifesting, not the I'm going to get the red pickup, I'm going to get the red pickup, I see myself driving the red pickup. That is not sufficient. It is, are we running the energy of love within us? Because when we're running the energy of love within us, we will be provided what we need, whether it's a red pickup, a blue pickup, a green pickup, or something else, because we didn't really need the pickup. And again, for those of you coming late, I only am using the red pickup truck as an example because I literally saw a red pickup truck driving down our little dirt road here as I was creating that illustration. It can be anything, whatever that is for you. So if we're running fear, oh my God, I've got to get, I've got to, find a place to live. I've got to this, that, and the other thing. Whatever your intuition is guiding you to. If we're in fear, if we're in judgment toward others, if we got a lot of subconscious programming that's saying we can't get what we want, all of those are going to create obstructions to our ability to manifest. We must manifest not just with visualization, not just with the mind, but with the heart. And that is part of our work as restoring the heart. And you're going to hear more about that during Return of the Priestess this year, because the underlying theme is the restoration of the heart, the river running beneath the surface of this year's Return of the Priestess is about restoring the heart and restoring our potent creativity as creator beings. That cannot be done without the frequency of love. So let's see where I am. So as we give, so too shall we receive. If we give judgment toward others, those fools, those idiots, those jerks, that kind of energy, so too shall we receive that. Again, not an immediate correlation, but in terms of the obstruction to the abundance that we wish to receive. This is why we remember the very famous saying in Christianity when Jesus is on the cross, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I walked in the forest yesterday, and that was one of my spontaneous prayers. Mother, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Mother, forgive me, for I know not what I do. When I am in judgment of others, when I hold resentments, we are remembering that we are divine creator beings and that love is the vehicle of true creation, not miscreation that miscreates disaster and misery and control and limitation and all of that stuff, systems that actually imprison people. Creation with love is what creates grace and freedom and abundance and liberty for all, even things that the mind cannot vision, because the mind cannot go to those multidimensional love realities that the heart can go to. Okay, I got my notes here. Let me see. Let us remember that either side of the fence of the divide happening in our world, besides those who are controlling the actual agenda to create a slave race, besides them, like the people who actually are either believing one side of the narrative or the other, their hearts are often very much in the right place. So we have to understand it from that perspective and not be in the judgment of those fools, those this, those that. Mother, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Their hearts are in the right place. They just want the best for themselves and their children. They just want good health. They just want freedom. They just want happiness, and they've been misdirected or mind controlled, programmed over time by watching TV all the time. So that's the energy we have to come with, understanding the overarching situation, but not judging those who are following like sheep going to the edge of the cliff. We have to have the love and the compassion. Same true for ourselves and all of our own mistakes, because none of us, like it's that another biblical, it's funny because I never read the Bible. It's the Course in Miracles is the way that I came back to Christ consciousness. But there are, having been raised in cultural Christianity and Catholic growing up, there is the other one of she or he who has not sinned may cast the first stone. We have all made mistakes. We have all stood in judgment of ourselves and others. We have all erred. And we are learning how to return to love. We are learning that what we give is what we receive. not in terms of objects, in terms of energy. So even as another illustration, I recently spoke with someone, again, who understands the greater narrative of what's going on and that there's a sort of hidden control system that's trying to herd us to a sort of cliff to push us over, whether that's because of this Agenda 21 and depopulation or, who knows, they're crazy agendas, right? That we should send these people love. And again, this is now refinement, okay? We're going into a nuance here. That we should basically attack the bad guys with love. Because those who are the SATANISTs, they don't want love. They don't want that. It's like scorching them, right? So there's some people in the movement of awakening who know about the truther movement, and they know that there's some kind of like hidden in plain sight bad guys, we'll just say. And so they want to send energy, love, love, as an attack. It's an attack. It's an attack. Don't do it. This does not mean that you don't say, my sister, my brother, joy and peace I offer you. That's an offer. If you want to do that, you can do it, but they're not going to want it. They're not going to, that's not what they want. Still, though, we don't offer them attack. We don't say, burn in hell. They will. Don't worry about it. They already are. That's where they want to be. All of that, we just let go of that energy. We let go of that energy and we come back to, where can I be more loving? Where can I be more compassionate for myself and others? Where am I in judgment, holding judgment against someone, or resentments or fear, where I can offer and extend love? So, or forgiveness, or joy and peace. Where is there someone in my life? Maybe it's the guy who cut me off when I was driving, and instead of going, you jerk, brother, I offer you joy and peace. May God's love flow through your life. Let it go. That is how we manifest with love. By extending love, not by forcing it on those that we know don't want it. That's silly. There's plenty of people who need our love and compassion. There's plenty of people we can hold in blessings who are struggling and suffering, or who are just going through life, going through their life, or that we've held resentments against, that kind of thing. So let me look at my notes here. I've talked before about, you've heard me say that the thoughts you think when you don't know you're thinking, that's one level of the clarifying our mind to the obstructions of love's presence, is becoming aware of the unconscious repetitive thoughts that we rolled through our minds, right? So that helps us to be better manifestors. Again, if I say I want the red pickup truck, I want the red pickup truck, I have the red pickup truck, but my mind goes, you're never going to get what you want. You never get what you want. You never get what you want. Doesn't matter how much I go drive, test drive red pickup trucks at the car store. So I have to clear the thoughts I'm thinking when I don't know what I'm thinking. Now, at the conscious level, though, there is the extension of love. There is the giving that is the receiving. What we give is what we receive. Love is letting go of fear. When we give love, we get more love. So if you've never seen Gerald Jamplowski's book, Love is Letting Go of Fear, it's adorable. It's wonderful. You could use it as a children's book if you have kids or grandkids. I highly recommend it. I don't get any benefit from offering that, although maybe I'll put it in my references or resource library on my website. But anyway, check it out. It's a beautiful little book. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's everything I wanted to say. So I'm going to go over to the other tab here and see what you all are saying and sharing. Okay, thank you for writing, everyone. So Serene Nikki says, and in this time, one or two choices I made in the past, see that with awareness I have now I have now would not have made those same choices. Right. We're all that way. And so that's where we forgive ourselves. Now, this seeing innocence and a purity of unawareness, nothing malign animates compassion for this younger self. Yeah, we have to just forgive ourselves. Let's just forgive ourselves for those mistakes we made. It's okay. We can let it go. That's the way to do it, really. In other words, pretty sure we've all been in a situation where we purely lacked awareness. Exactly. And so do we judge ourselves or do we just let it go and we say, yep, forgive us for we knew not what we did. I forgive myself. I didn't know what I did then. Let me make a new choice now. Thank you for that wisdom, dear Serene. Paula, they know not what they do, holding love. As Neil Donald Walsh says, ask yourself, how would God, Goddess respond? What would she, he say? Speak as if you were God, Goddess. Beautiful. Exactly. And I often use Jesus. What would Jesus say? What would Jesus do? Um, and Serene says, yes, many in beautiful hearts, local elders, communities support my elder parents, although they mostly have taken these V's, seeing their innocence, heart breaks open in compassion. Indeed, indeed. Okay, so, oh, it says I have 22 comments. Why do I only see, oh dear. I cannot see the other comments for some reason. I'm only seeing those 4 comments. So my apologies that I cannot respond live today, such as technology. Let us be grateful that we do have this technology, huh? Either way. So my invitation for all of us really is to remember that we are love, that we are having a dream in the mind of the divine, believing we are separate beings. And as we turn around on the road, the one road that leads either away from that oneness or back to it, as we turn around and return back to love, let us remember that what we give is what we receive on the most obvious and subtle levels. I can tell you for sure that it was my work with forgiveness that allowed me in 1 year's time to manifest the dream that I thought, that I literally mourned right before the return of the priestess started last year. The land being in the forest, because I couldn't seem to manifest it all those years after walking away and leaving it all to my ex-husband. And now I have land in a location that is even better suited to me, to me. And I could not have done that had I not done deep forgiveness work, had I not been starting being meticulous about my own, what I was giving out. And I don't mean stuff, I mean energetically. And had I not literally done Return of the Priestess and gotten on my mission or my ministry, if you will, such that I get to give each week in these videos and in the courses that I teach, et cetera, from that heart of love. So just let us all return even deeper to the level of love in our hearts, and to remember when we are tempted to judge others, to forgive them, to forgive ourselves, to remember Mother, to say, Mother, forgive me, for I knew not what I did. Mother, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Let me give love that I may receive abundantly. And of course, when you pair that with any of the inner work that needs doing to clarify your mind of the obstructions to love's presence through healing trauma, through healing subconscious programming, through reprogramming it, all of that, and then you act on your highest excitement, you act and you literally act in the world to bring about what you wish to manifest, magic and miracles can happen. So just on that, going back to, this place, my little tiny house, in a big giant forest with really good water and a well. That was my dream. And I worked really hard for this too. On the 3D world, I'm not just saying it was given to me. I actually worked very hard and I saved a bunch of money. But it flowed. I wasn't in debt. I did a lot of work on the 3D world, on the inner planes, and on the spiritual planes in order. Oh, there goes the red pickup truck. So it must be almost time to end today's call. I worked it on all levels is what I want to say. And that's really what we do. We work it on all levels. We heal our trauma. We work diligently toward it in the 3D world, and on in the love space, we return to love and we extend and give from love. And then we follow the guidance as it's called, as we are called to it. Okay. So sometime, I don't know if I've told you the sort of magical story of this manifestation of this house. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear that, and maybe I'll share that in another video. But for now, I'm going to sign off. And I'm sorry I couldn't answer more of your comments verbally, but I will look at them and respond. Offering you much love and bright blessings. Until next week, may you restore your hearts, manifest everything you want, and do it with the frequency of love. Many blessings, sisters. Bye for now. Mwah.